My name is Kishore Chandiramani, and I welcome you all to the fourth in a series of 6 sessions on stress management. We are going to discuss the physiology of stress and how we can deal with it at the physical level by changing the heart rate variability, brainwave pattern, and the autonomic nervous system. Due to the advancement in technology, it has now been possible to accurately measure the parameters such as muscle tension, respiratory rate, skin temperature, heart rate, brainwave pattern, blood flow in different parts of the body, and skin sweat activity, which can reflect high anxiety states. The biofeedback devices can accurately measure these subtle changes in the physiological functions and convert them into signals, and one can visualize their stress scores on the computer and see them return to normal when they relax. This is quite empowering for clients who can see for themselves how their stress levels fluctuate with their mental and physical activities. The autonomic nervous system consists of 2 separate systems, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. And these 2 systems are normally in harmony with each other. In anxiety and depressive states, this balance is disrupted and there is high levels of sympathetic activity which can be corrected by means of therapy techniques. Scientists have discovered that the heart rate variability is altered in anxiety and depressive states. The rate at which heart beats varies from beat to beat, even in healthy states. In fact, it is considered desirable to have a greater variation in heartbeat, as it has been reported that heart rate variability is lower in disease states. Researchers have found that this heart rate variability is being constantly influenced by our respiratory rhythm. This finding that heart rate changes with respiration has allowed scientists to modify heart rate variability by way of altering the respiratory rhythm. To put it simply, during a panic attack or anxiety attack, if your heart is pounding, you can't ask your heart to slow down, but there is a connection between your heart and your respiration, and your respiration is under your control. By changing your respiration, you can bring about a change in your heart rate, which means if you are able to breathe slowly, deeply, and using your tummy muscles, you can slow down your heart rhythm and abort a panic attack. The other important parameter that is involved in stress and can be altered is a brainwave pattern. There are 4 different types of brainwaves: alpha, beta, theta, and delta, each with its own function. It has been reported that in certain psychiatric disorders such as anxiety, alcohol dependence, and addiction to sedative drugs such as heroin, benzos, and opiates, the brain is over-aroused, and use of alcohol or sedatives lead to a reduced level of arousal. That is, individual brings their arousal level to an optimal level, which produces a sense of comfort. Whereas individuals who suffer from attention deficit and hyperkinetic disorder and who abuse stimulants such as cocaine and amphetamine have under-aroused brains, and increased physical activity or the use of stimulants lifts their arousal to an optimal level, which is again relaxing for them. It is possible to alter the brainwave pattern and arousal levels of the individual with the use of biofeedback devices such as light and sound machines. This stress program places emphasis on learning a number of different ways in which one can stop forming new negative experiences. This opens the door for the old emotions to get worked on, and attention regulation is one of the key techniques involved. Every thought and every emotion dies its natural death if we don't pay attention to it. It's the attention that fuels the fire. Attention regulation is a very simple technique, but one that has to be practiced constantly for a sufficient period of time. The first and the foremost approach to attention regulation is to shift one's attention from the thoughts of the past or future to that of the present. If we look carefully, we find that whenever we get stressed, mostly we are either thinking about something which happened in the past, that is, a few minutes, hours, days, or months ago, or something that is going to happen in the next few hours, days, or months. If we live mostly in the present, we can cut through a lot of stress